Hi, it's Keir Finlay-Bates here on a frosty Finnish morning, and today I want to talk about the phrase code is law. There are a lot of DeFi protocols out there that are holding hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of digital assets, and they occasionally get hacked. And I should put hacked in quotes, because most of the hacks that drain these protocols of funds are actually just running the code as it is. And if you take a very reductionist approach to smart contracts, then you would say, well, the code allows it, therefore it's acceptable. Now, I disagree with this standpoint. And the analogy that I'm going to use here is vending machines. Vending machines in the real world that sell you crisps or soda or chocolate bars can be very similar to smart contracts that are running on a blockchain. And when it comes to a vending machine, there can be bugs. I have personally had interactions with vending machines where I've received more than I paid for, or where I found ways that you could press buttons and get things out without paying at all. Now, doing that is actually a crime, because any reasonable person understands that when you have a machine that gives you a can of soda for $1, if you put $1 in and you get 2 cans out, something has gone wrong. Now, vending machine companies are not going to want to be contacted over the occasional mishap where an extra soda is emitted, but they would like to know if you find a way of pressing the buttons that empties the entire machine of soda cans. And if you do that and walk off with all those cans, well, then you have committed a crime. And in America, there are even levels at which it'll move from a misdemeanor, which is a minor crime, to a felony, which can involve fines and even prison time. And I think the same should apply to DeFi protocols. Yes, you may find a way that allows you to, for example, deposit the same token and withdraw it over and over and over again to inflate the value of that token in order to drain the contract of all the other tokens that it contains. It's clear to any reasonable person that that was not the intent of the protocol. The protocol will not have been designed specifically to allow that. It's just an oversight by the developers that was not picked up by the auditors. And so anybody who finds such a weakness in a DeFi protocol and walks off with tens or hundreds of millions of dollars should, under any reasonable interpretation, realize that what they are doing was not the intent of the contract. And this is why it goes back to the vending machines. It's pretty clear that if you put $1 in a machine and the entire contents are swept out and handed over to you, that something has gone wrong. And the same applies to smart contracts. Now, of course, the problem that both vending machines and smart contracts have is that the interaction is pretty anonymous. When you pay for goods from a vending machine with dollars, nobody knows who you are. Similarly, if you interact with a smart contract using a blockchain address, if you've been careful, you can do it anonymously and nobody knows who you are. So that makes tracing and tracking the person difficult. However, despite the fact that you can remain anonymous, that doesn't give you the right to commit fraud or crime or theft. So I don't hold with the idea of code is law. I think it's generally speaking pretty clear what the intent of the developers of smart contracts is. And anybody who drains a DeFi protocol of vast sums using some clever trickery that circumvents the intent of the contract should be aware that what they are doing is wrong, and therefore, if they are caught, should be held accountable. That's my take. I'm sure there are other people out there who disagree, and I look forward to hearing your arguments as to why we should interpret the letter rather than the spirit of these programs running on smart contract blockchains. That's it for today. Hope you found it interesting, and see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.